Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video on Evomon. And pretty much we're going to go ahead and go over the floating realm, which is going to be a part of the season, I guess you could say the season map. And we're just going to go ahead and go over everything that you guys need to go ahead and know. So let's go ahead and talk about Lancey's shop, I guess you could go ahead and call her. I don't even know how to say her name. But pretty much in this shop, you can go ahead and exchange your regular medallions as well as your rainbow medallions to go ahead and purchase stuff right off the bat. There's obviously a daily one, there's a weekly one, and obviously there's a special one which you can go ahead and use for the duration of the entire event. Obviously, there are some shiny eggs in here, and you do have a lot of other stuff as well. Prismatic balls, king balls, and just regular eggs. Now, to go ahead and go over here, we're going to go ahead and talk about Clanx. I think that's how you say it at least. And so pretty much Clanx right here is going to be weak against fire, water, and electric because he is a metal type. And on top of that too, he's also going to be weak against normal and bug. But also, since he is technically the opposite of light, he's also going to be weak to light as well. And right off the bat, as you guys can go ahead and see, it's going to be a 40% catch rate for this guy. Obviously, if you have different equipment on or a different adventure suit, it'll definitely come in handy and potentially bringing up your catch rate. Now, to go ahead and come all the way back here, we also do have this other Evomon. And I'm going to go ahead and just get its counterpart right here, which we're going to go ahead and jump in and attack. And this guy is going to be known as Glowy. Glowy is going to be weak against grass, flying types, as well as dragon types. But he's also, due to the fact that he's ground, but also light is also weak against grass and ice. So it's a double-edged sword when it comes to grass. So it does 2 times damage. And on top of that, due to the fact that it is light, its counterpart is going to be dark. So if you go ahead and use any like dark moves, it'll go ahead and do more damage to him as well. And just like Clanx, pretty much it is going to be a 40% catch rate. And once you go ahead and potentially catch him, you'll be able to have him in your index. Now, we also have a couple people that you can go ahead and duel. And the first one right here is going to be the Dark Messenger, which you're going to be able to duel right off the bat. And they're definitely going to have different types of rewards for you guys. But we're going to go ahead and just jump in. And I'm going to go ahead and start with my grass type / dragon type Trigon, because the first one that's going to go ahead and pop up is going to be one of the more Clanxors, the Shao ones. And for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and use Seed Bomb on him, take my time. And the next one that he's going to go ahead and use, assuming that I'm able to knock this guy out pretty easy, is going to be a poison / psychic type, which is going to be as soon as we knock this guy out. It's like Wisp, I forget the name, the bunny that is purple and white, which is going to be the Wispex. And for this one, I'm going to go ahead and switch my Evomon out just because I don't exactly want it to die right off the bat. So switching this guy off, because if you use Trigon against this one, unfortunately it will murder you instantly. But we're going to go ahead and just drop in a sandstorm right here, so then we could go ahead and get that little buff where anything that is ground type will definitely be not affected and everything else will be. Does look like I did get knocked out there though, which is kind of a rip. But we're going to go ahead and just jump back in and just whack them right off the bat. Oh boy. There we go. Ta-da! And so the next type that we're going to go ahead and have is going to be a, I don't even know how to say this, Chitladin. And pretty much for this one, it is also going to be weak against rock attack. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can get this one in. And we barely missed the kill, which is crazy to me. Oh, we got him. Ta-da! And the next one is going to be another Clanxor. And so I'm going to go ahead and use Seed Bomb. Obviously, I might get knocked out here. Might not. I'm going to keep using Seed Bombs to heal myself. And we're just going to continuously use Seed Bombs over and over and over again and try to stay alive. But I might die due to the status effect. Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to happen. So we're going to go ahead and switch over to our Volcrest. And we're just going to go ahead and use Heaven's Thunder to go ahead and knock him out completely. And then last but not least, the last Pokemon they're going to go ahead and have is going to be a Clanxor. And for this one, I'm going to go ahead and hit him with Electrify. Obviously, you can go ahead and knock this guy out with Light. Let me see if I'm going to be lucky enough to land this. Yeah, I'm barely going to be lucky enough to land this. And it does look like my... Oh, well, I'm still alive. I thought I was actually going to die there from the effect. But he is at 12, and we are going to go ahead and knock him out. I'll go ahead and bring my Tyrannagon back out. And we'll go ahead and use a variant beam. Actually, we don't even have to do that. It just died right off the bat. And then once you go ahead and get that, you'll be able to collect your rewards. Now, you're also going to have the light messenger that you can go ahead and duel. And obviously, the rewards are going to be this right here. I actually didn't complete this one yet because I totally forgot about her. But we're going to go ahead and jump in right off the bat with our Tarragon. So let's go ahead and get this started. And so right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and use Seed Bomb due to the fact that we do have a Glowress. I'm sorry. And I'm just going to go ahead and use Fighting's Will over and over and over again because it's going to be a lot more easier for me to go ahead and take this guy out at full blast. And I'm going to go ahead and save my Leaf Bomb for when the next creature comes out. Or I should say the next Evomon. And now we're going to go ahead and just whack him with another Seed Bomb. And then we're going to go ahead and wait for the next one, which is going to go ahead and be a Boltonia. And I'm going to go ahead and use the Leaf Bomb right here to go ahead and just knock it out right off the bat. Assuming that I'm able to go ahead and get the shot in. There you go, knocked out. And then the next one that they're going to go ahead and have is going to be an M-Pixie. And this one's going to be a little bit more challenging because I believe this one could go ahead and hit me with one shot and then I'll die. Fingers crossed I don't, though. Let's go ahead and see. Bomb should help us out here. Yeah, so definitely. I'm going to try to get this Verdant Beam out. Nope, I kind of figured I was going to die. Well, it is what it is. I do have a water type right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and rush him right off the bat. Right here, Murked. And then the next one that they're going to go ahead and have is going to be a Star Mules. And this one's going to be a little bit more challenging due to the fact that I don't exactly want to switch. But I'll have to probably switch to my Volcrest just because it is a little bit more stronger compared to my Mirefish. I'm going to go ahead and try to get another shot in, which I highly doubt. And as you guys can see, I just got knocked. I'm going to switch to my Volcrest, and we're going to go ahead and use Heaven's Thunder, which should be able to knock it out completely. There we go. And last but not least, we do have the Respring. I can't even say that. And we're going to go ahead and use our Frenzy Slash to go ahead and knock. Well, doesn't look like he got knocked. Big rip. I should have knocked him. I'm not sure why I didn't. Oh, because of level 195. And we're obviously not going to get this shot out, which kind of sucks. And I don't have a dark type with me, but I do have a grass type, which should be more than enough to knock him out. Let's see if I can get the shot in real quickly. One more Seed Bomb should do it, and I don't exactly see them knocking me out with the next attack at all. Perfect. KO. And obviously for your first time rewards, it's going to be this right here. And that's pretty much it for this one. And the last person that is part of the duel is going to be Kyrie, which is going to be all the way in the back over here, which is going to be a little bit more challenging because she's going to go ahead and have two Pokemon out at the same time. And obviously this is going to be what you can get after you defeat her once. There's going to be more rewards, obviously, if it's your first time doing it like the last one where we had more rewards. But I'm going to go ahead and go with my Tarragon because from my understanding, she doesn't have any ice types right off the bat. And I'm just going to focus on this side right here. And I'm just going to focus only on that side because if you go one-on-one, each Evomon are going to go ahead and spawn in. But only 2 Evomon can spawn on the left side. And there's going to be a total of 3 that can spawn on the right. So I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of this and do my best to go ahead and knock these guys out. Obviously, I'm using a grass type, which is good against our Glowies over here. But over here, it's not exactly the best. But at the same time, I do want to go ahead and get my Seed Bomb to go ahead and heal me at 8% per each stacked hit. And I'm going to go ahead and try to do Fighter's Will right here. Yeah, it should be fine. I'm going to go ahead and run another one right here and knock them just right off the bat. And I'm going to go ahead and continuously use Fighter's Will 2 just to go ahead and get my SPA up. It looks like my defense is definitely taking a hit though, which is not the greatest. But we should be alright. I just got to go ahead and run it one more time and then we're good to go. And now I'm just going to use Seed Bombs for the rest of this. And then once I see his ice type on the right side spawn, then I'll go ahead and use my Leaf Storm. But for right now, I don't exactly need to use it. And this should be the last one that we had to deal with on this side. If I'm able to knock it, I'm going to go ahead and use one more Seed Bomb on him just to go ahead and make it nice and quick and get a little bit more heals on me. There we go. And now we're going to go ahead and focus on this guy right here, which we should be able to knock with one Seed Bomb. Yeah, perfect. And now there should be an ice type, which is going to be the Crab, or maybe I lied. The last one is going to be the crab. And we're going to go ahead and use our leaf storm for that one, just because we will take some damage from ice. And there you have it. That's pretty much it. Nice, simple, and easy. Obviously, when you defeat them, you'll get your rewards as well. Now, when it comes to challenging the boss, a Clanxor, pretty much you could go ahead and use fire, you could use water, you could use electric, you could use light element as well. Any of those would go ahead and work, but I'm gonna go ahead and use my Tarragon. Obviously, it's not gonna be that effective against him, but it is gonna go ahead and last a little bit longer, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just constantly throw seed bombs his way, just so I could go ahead and heal every single time, make it a little bit more easier for myself. And then once I have a total of about like 3 to 4, I'll go ahead and put my fighting will 2 on, which I'm going to go ahead and just run it right now, just to make it a lot more easier, because I want to go ahead and get my attack power a little bit higher, just so then I could go ahead and knock this guy out a little bit more quick. And right now we're going to be at 16. I'm going to go ahead and try to get it to 30 as quickly as I possibly can, just to knock him out. And now that we have it, we're going to go ahead and start off with our leaf storm right here, which won't do too much damage, but we'll go ahead and follow up with the rest seed bombs, just so that I could go ahead and get extra heals on my Tarragon. We're going to keep on running this. Oh boy, he's really trying to knock me out, isn't he? Let's see, we got this. Yes, we should be fine now to go ahead and use another leaf storm, and then we could just go ahead and finish it off with verdant beams. Yeah, because he's not going to be able to knock me down halfway of house. Also, keep in mind, too, this boss will go ahead and increase its attack, SPA, defense, and speed per turn. So just keep that in mind. And I think it might actually show here. Yeah, so it does show right here. So you just got to keep an eye out for that, because this will end up getting you killed. He obviously has a lot more defense, which makes him a little bit more chunky and harder to kill. But that's all right. Also, he does pretty much per every turn, enemy Evomon restores 1 PP and is immune to abnormal effects, but just right off the bat, just knocked like that. Now, when it comes to fighting the final boss, which I think is called Goliath, if I remember correctly, I think that's how you say it. Pretty much you could go ahead and use grass types, you could use ice types, you could use flying types, dragons, and obviously its counterpart, which is going to be darkness, but it's a double-edged sword because it could go ahead and kill dark, and then dark could kill light, which is pretty much self-explanatory there. And I'm going to go ahead and run it with Tarragon again. You can never go wrong with Tarragon. And I'm just going to go ahead and just use its double-edged sword to go ahead and fight it, because obviously it does 2 times damage when it comes to grass. And I'm just going to honestly just use Seed Bomb. I don't even need to use Fighter's Will. This guy will get knocked out pretty easy. He does have a healing effect, which is kind of outlandish, but obviously he's going to go ahead and die. Keep in mind, too, the Evomon gains 100% lifesteal. The enemy Evomon gets a total of SPA plus 3 per turn, which is kind of problematic if you're not using a grass type. And the enemy restores 1 PP per turn and is immune to status effects as well. And we're just going to go ahead and finish him off with the Leaf Storm here. Make it easy for him. And just like that, he is defeated. Now, obviously, the rewards for each one of the bosses are going to kind of vary. Obviously, when it's your first time, you get a lot more rewards. And your second time, you usually get the exact same amount of berries as well as coins. And last but not least, let's go ahead and talk about the secret zone right here, which you should be able to unlock. And let me actually go ahead and tell you how to unlock it right now, since we're kind of already like in the process of telling you how to fight that secret boss right there. Pretty much you got to go ahead and talk to our homegirl over here, Lillian. And Lillian will go ahead and tell you to go ahead and talk to some people, fight some people. And then after that, you have to go to like these pillars. There's a couple pillars on the map that you have to go ahead and go to. There's one right here. And there should be like 1 or 2 more if I remember correctly. Once you go ahead and interact with all of them, there's going to be a little ritual area right here where you have to go ahead and guess the fires. And I believe it's different for everyone, but for me, it was this one first, this one second, and then that one third. And then once you go ahead and do that, you pretty much go into the secret zone. And in this zone, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. I already made a video on this, but I'm going to go ahead and show you. These are the only 2 that you are going to go ahead and need. And then let me just make sure I have everything correct. Yeah, it looks like I have all the correct movesets. And we're going to go ahead and talk to them. There is going to be easy, hard, and extreme mode. And obviously, these aren't just going to be the only drops that you're going to get. There's going to be more drops. But once you beat it your first time, after that, these are going to be the drops that you're going to continuously get. And we're just going to go ahead and rush inside and just fight right off the bat. And pretty much in order to make sure that you can survive this, what I would recommend is for you to do is use Verdant Beam and then use Electrify, because Electrify does do paralyzing damage, and it has like a total of like stacks of 10% vulnerability. And as long as you keep on running those exact same things, it should die pretty easy. And I'm going to go ahead and use my Leaf Storm right here and another Electrify just to go ahead and electrify it. And right here, it should get knocked out right off the bat. Also, you have to defeat this Pokemon in at least 12 turns. If it goes past 12 turns, unfortunately, you lose. And it takes 80% less damage on its second form, which is this one right here. So having the Electrify will definitely help you out a lot for this one. And I think we might need a total of 4 turns to actually knock this guy. For this one, it's going to be 4 turns in total. The last one, it was 3. But this one's definitely going to be a total of 4. Also, once you go ahead and defeat this guy and you get on to the next one, which is going to be phase 3, the enemy revives allied Evomon stat stage and resets its own. So if you have any stats on here, like you have plus like attack, plus like special attack, unfortunately it'll go ahead and nullify yours, and then any like stats that it has, it'll go ahead and pretty much become a little bit more stronger from my understanding. If I remember that correctly. I'm trying to think. I think that's what it is. But yeah, yours definitely do reset. And then his get a little bit more stronger depending on what he resets on yours. And he did heal, which is kind of not the greatest thing to see. And we do have one more attack right here that we have to go ahead and engage. We might actually not make it. So hopefully we can. I'm not exactly sure. We'll see how lucky we get. I think since he healed himself, we might not get it. So no, we barely missed it right there. Which is all right. Oh, we still have one more attack, which is great. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's see if this is going to be what we need here. Fingers crossed. Barely. So we barely missed, but you guys have the understanding of how to go ahead and do it. Since he healed, unfortunately, we were unable to defeat him. But as you guys did see, he was pretty close. He only had like 100 HP out of like 5,000. But that's pretty much the method to go ahead and do it. Sadly, we couldn't exactly show you guys how to defeat it on the video, but that's quite all right. Now you guys have an understanding of how to do it. Also, when you're fighting him, make sure to have both of these Tergons and Volcris at least at level 170, and make sure that they have some armor on as well as a trait that helps them out. If you have Shiny as well, it does boost its stats by like 4 to 5% if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. We also do have Lily over here, which is part of the X Trials, but the X Trials is like something that's completely different and it takes a lot of time. Obviously, I've beat this one before, and I'll probably make a separate video on this just because this one will probably be longer than the actual length of this video. You also have another one back here whose name is, if I remember correctly, it's gonna be Mr. Zero. Same thing. This guy's a little bit more complicated to go ahead and fight as well. So this is going to be a different video. And then our last EX person, which is going to be all the way back here, if I could fly there quick enough, is going to be this person, Eren, I think it is. And Eren's probably going to be the most hardest one out of all 3, believe it or not. Because there's a specific Pokemon that you need to go ahead and get, and this is specific Pokemon that you're gonna need. Needs to have Sandstorm, needs to have Iron Fortress as well, and some kind of healing buff as well. So yeah, these are gonna be a whole different story, and honestly, for like a beginner's guide to this world, this is gonna be more of the extreme guide. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Obviously, I made this video kind of a little bit late, sadly. I have been kind of busy, and I know I've been getting the questions if I could go ahead and do a beginning guide to go ahead and kind of explain everything on the map. But we're finally done it, so big W right there. But yeah, anyways, guys, I hope this kind of helps you out understanding the map and everything. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. We'll see you guys on the next one. So then, take care.